It vanished without a gun, without a broken lock, without anyone raising an alarm. $400,000 in lobster meat disappeared in plain sight, taken from a cold storage facility in Massachusetts and never delivered to the Midwest Costco stores where it was supposed to end up. No smash and grab, no hijacking on the highway, just paperwork, confidence, and a truck that never should have been there. On December 12th, a driver arrived at a Massachusetts cold storage facility claiming to represent a legitimate freight carrier. The paperwork looked right. The truck looked right. The identification appeared valid. The shipment was released. And just like that, the lobster was gone. The freight broker involved, Rexing Companies of Indiana, says this was not a mistake or a misunderstanding. According to its CEO, Dylan Rexing, this was a classic case of what the FBI calls a fictitious pickup, a modern cargo theft scheme that blends cybercrime with old-fashioned fraud. Thieves obtain shipping information through cyber intrusion or data leaks, recreate legitimate documents, forge credentials, and walk cargo out the door legally, at least on the surface. By the time anyone realized the lobster never arrived, the trail was already cold. Federal and local law enforcement are now investigating, but details remain scarce. What is clear is that this was not an isolated incident. Rexing says police told him that just 10 days earlier, crab meat was stolen from the very same facility in a nearly identical way. Different product, same playbook. And that is the part that should worry everyone, not just logistics companies. Rexing says these thefts are happening constantly, multiple times a day, across the country. Organized groups target food, electronics, pharmaceuticals, anything high value and easy to resell. The crime rarely makes headlines because it looks clean, bloodless, and technical. A company loses a shipment, insurance gets involved, lawyers talk, and life moves on. Except it does not really move on. Every one of these losses ripples outward. When cargo disappears, insurers step in. But insurance is not free money. Claims drive up loss ratios. Loss ratios drive up premiums. Premiums are passed along to businesses, and businesses pass those costs straight to consumers. The Department of Homeland Security estimates organized retail and cargo crime costs the average American family more than $500 a year. Not through taxes, through higher prices. That $400,000 in stolen lobster does not just vanish. It gets baked into the cost of seafood, shipping, retail operations, and insurance renewals. The consumer pays, quietly, at the checkout line. Rexing has already contacted his insurance broker, and liability has not yet been determined. Cargo insurance, motor truck cargo policies, contingent coverage, warehouse legal liability, all of it depends on fine details. Who released the freight? Who hired the carrier? Who verified the driver? One missed step can shift hundreds of thousands of dollars in responsibility. He has also contacted his attorney, a transportation specialist, who says these cases are exploding. The week before this theft alone, the lawyer reviewed 9 cargo theft reports, each involving losses exceeding $250,000. That is not petty crime. That is industrial-scale theft, hiding behind clipboards and email addresses. Rexing is not pointing fingers. He openly admits that no company is perfect, and that perhaps more safeguards could have been in place. But that is exactly the problem. The system is built on trust in documents and digital systems that criminals have learned to exploit faster than regulators and law enforcement can respond. This is no longer just a trucking issue. It is a cybersecurity issue. It is an insurance issue. It is a consumer cost issue. As these crimes grow, insurers tighten underwriting. Deductibles increase. Exclusions creep into policies. Smaller operators struggle to afford coverage. Some exit the market altogether. That reduces competition, increases concentration, and raises prices further. The damage compounds long after the stolen goods are resold in shadow markets. Rexing says he is speaking out not for sympathy, but for attention. He wants lawmakers and law enforcement to treat cargo theft with the seriousness it deserves. Because when crime is dismissed as white-collar or victimless, it flourishes. And when it flourishes, everyone pays. The lobster never reached Costco. But the cost of that theft will reach millions of households, spread thinly enough that most people will never notice. A few cents more here, a few dollars more there. Another premium increase at renewal, another quiet reminder that modern crime does not need violence to be devastating. Sometimes all it takes is a clipboard, a fake ID, and a system that still believes paper means protection.